Thank you. Well, when you have to work on Memorial Day, you bring the good food to you. And so we're having a cookout right here on Good Morning Washington, courtesy of the guys from City Smokehouse. We got Sean over here slicing and dicing some barbecue chicken, and we got Pitmaster Rob over here.
We're making
manning
chicken.
the grill.
Man the grill.
Oh my gosh, this smells so good.
We got some baby back ribs, we got some pork spare ribs and rib tips. Normally in the store all we do is the spare ribs, but baby back ribs are a little bit easier to cook on a grill, a little bit faster, so it's a little bit easier to do for a party in your backyard rather than taking the time to cook spare ribs.
And so you got some over here that are already sliced up.
Yeah,
are
those are the baby backs right there. You can kind of tell from the curve and the bone the difference between the baby back and the spare ribs.
Okay. Now you've got a certain way that you season these up and get them ready to hit the grill.
Exactly.
So can you show us?
So over here we got a full rack of spare ribs.
That's a fine piece of meat.
And if you can see, the top part has all the cartilage and kind of fat. A lot of people throw these away, but we like to cook them up. This is my favorite part. And from the full rack of spare ribs, we have a St. Louis cut and then the rib tips. So if you ever go to a restaurant and they have St. Louis style spare ribs, that's what that is.
And now, are you going to tell us what's in this special seasoning?
Absolutely not.
You know, it was my job to ask.
Now, well, I can tell you what's in it. I'm not going to tell you the ratios. Basically, it's salt, black pepper, a little bit of brown sugar, and a couple of different chili powders and some garlic powder. I like to keep it relatively simple. You know, a lot of people like to put endless different kinds of seasonings in their dry rubs, but we like to have the seasoning and the flavor come from the meat as well as the wood that we use.
So does that have to stay overnight like that? Or?
Generally, like, ideally, overnight isn't the best, but anytime from 30 minutes to an hour really kind of helps the meat get into it. Any longer than an hour or so, and it starts to draw out a lot, like the salt and stuff, and the rub starts to draw out a lot of the moisture.
All right.
So we're just going to go ahead and hit these on the grill now.
And then how long are we talking about keeping it on here?
Generally, when I'm cooking the barbecue at the restaurant, we have an enclosed cooker, so the cook time is going to be a little bit different, but generally anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to cook the whole rack. But the rib tips cook up a little faster, and especially in your backyard, I mean, the rib tips come off maybe in an hour or two, and that's the snack before the rest of the party gets there.
I like snack. I like chicken.
I love
How
chicken
do you do
too.
your chicken?
The chicken is very simple. A really great way to keep chicken moist at a party is to use a brine. So use a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of water. You can kind of add any other flavorings that you want from there. But a basic salt, sugar, water solution, let it sit in there overnight. And really that's all you need. We do that, and then as well we use a dry rub that's a little spicy, a little sweet on the chicken. And then the chicken takes anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours on the smoker. And it's very important when you're cooking any large cuts of meat like this to let the meat rest after it comes off.
For how long?
Something like a brisket that we cook for 15, 20 hours, we let that rest for a good hour. Something like a chicken, maybe 15 minutes. Something like a rack of ribs, 15, 20 minutes as well.
This crowd doesn't know
I know.
resting. They want it right when it comes off.
Oh, look at that. Julie Wright found the food. How is it? Finger looking good?
Oh, my God. It's delicious.
All right, we're going to give these ribs a try. And I just want to point out that you guys, on the cover of Washingtonian Magazine for the month of June, these are all of their sandwiches stacked one on top of each other. So
don't forget the Weekender.
And they're also in the Washington Post. Yep. And you guys are located over on North Capitol?
8 Florida Avenue.
8 Florida Avenue.
Right at the intersection of Florida and North Capitol.
Florida and North Capitol. Okay.
Really
How is it?
tender. The chicken is delicious.
Oh, you have the chicken?
Oh, my goodness.
This is so good. All right, we're going to keep stuffing our faces.
And it is Memorial Day. We do have our normal backyard barbecue set up, our potato salad, our coleslaw. And I love pickles as an accompaniment to any of these meats that sort of helps cut the fat and gives you a little bit of acidic bite to it. And then there's not a whole lot of more American things in my mind than a bourbon bacon pecan pie from Teeny Pies.
Where's that?
Right here, we could try one of these bourbon bacon pecan pie behind.
That's the best thing ever for you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have more with the guys from City Smokehouse on the other side. Stay with us. I want to try these.